In November 2007, I heard that I had won a prize. Each year, TED, the acronym for Technology, Entertainment and Design, a private non-profit organization best known for its superb conferences on ideas worth spreading, gives awards to people whom they think have made a difference, but who, with their help, could make even more of an impact. Other winners have included former US President Bill Clinton, the scientist E.O. Wilson, and the British chef Jamie Oliver. The recipient is given $100,000 and, more importantly, is granted a wish for a better world. I knew immediately what I wanted. One of the chief tasks of our time must surely be to build a global community in which all peoples can live together in mutual respect. Yet religion, which should be making a major contribution, is seen as part of the problem. All faiths insist that compassion is the test of true spirituality, and that it brings us into relation with the transcendence we call God, Brahman, Nirvana, or Tao. Each has formulated its own version of what is sometimes called the Golden Rule. Do not treat others as you would not like them to treat you. Or, in its positive form, always treat others as you would wish to be treated yourself. Further, they all insist that you cannot confine your benevolence to your own group. You must have concern for everybody, even your enemies. Yet, sadly, we hear little about compassion these days. I have lost count of the number of times I have jumped into a London taxi and, when the cabbie asks how I make a living, have been informed categorically that religion has been the cause of all the major wars in history. In fact, the causes of conflict are usually greed, envy, and ambition. But in an effort to sanitize them, these self-serving emotions have often been cloaked in religious rhetoric. There has been much flagrant abuse of religion in recent years. Terrorists have used their faith to justify atrocities that violate its most sacred values. In the Roman Catholic Church, popes and bishops have ignored the suffering of countless women and children by turning a blind eye to the sexual abuse committed by their priests. Some religious leaders seem to behave like secular politicians, singing the praises of their own denomination and decrying their rivals with scant regard for charity. In their public pronouncements, they rarely speak of compassion, but focus instead on such secondary matters as sexual practices, the ordination of women, or abstruse doctrinal definitions, implying that a correct stance on these issues, rather than the Golden Rule, is the criterion of true faith. Yet it is hard to think of a time when the compassionate voice of religion has been so sorely needed. Our world is dangerously polarized. There is a worrying imbalance of power and wealth, and, as a result, a growing rage, malaise, alienation, and humiliation that have erupted in terrorist atrocities that endanger us all. We are engaged in wars that we seem unable either to end or to win. Disputes that were secular in origin, such as the Arab-Israeli conflict, have been allowed to fester and have become holy, and once they have been sacralized, positions tend to harden and become resistant to pragmatic solutions. And yet, at the same time, we are bound together more closely than ever before through the electronic media. Suffering and want are no longer confined to distant, disadvantaged parts of the globe. When stocks plummet in one country, there is a domino effect in markets all around the world. What happens today in Gaza or Afghanistan is now likely to have repercussions tomorrow in London or New York. We all face the terrifying possibility of environmental catastrophe. In a world in which small groups will increasingly have powers of destruction hitherto confined to the nation-state, it has become imperative to apply the Golden Rule globally, ensuring that all peoples are treated as we would wish to be treated ourselves. If our religious and ethical traditions fail to address this challenge, they will fail the test of our time. So, at the awards ceremony in February 2008, I asked TED to help me create, launch and propagate a Charter for Compassion that would be written by leading thinkers from a variety of major faiths and would restore compassion to the heart of religious and moral life. The Charter would counter the voices of extremism, intolerance and hatred. At a time when religions are widely assumed to be at loggerheads, it would also show that despite our significant differences, on this we are all in agreement, and that it is indeed possible for the religious to reach across the divide and work together for justice and peace. Thousands of people from all over the world contributed to a draft charter on a multilingual website in Hebrew, Arabic, Urdu, Spanish and English. Their comments were presented to the Council of Conscience, a group of notable individuals from 6 faith traditions: Judaism, Christianity, Islam, Hinduism, Buddhism and Confucianism, who met in Switzerland in February 2009 to compose the final version.